Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Yankee chapter of Better Investing. I'm sorry I'm hemming and hawing, but our president is coming shortly, and so I'm filling the gap, so to speak. Let me get the old presentation up, and then I'll backfill it. I'll share my screen, and as soon as I have that ready to go. Let's see, I'm opening my drive now, and we'll get, here we go, investing, better investing, that's us. And we'll get into the correct directory. And let's go ahead and, here's the Yankee Model Club intro. So let's see if I can make myself the presenter.
Randall, I moved you over from attendee to panelist.
Okay. Let's see, do I see myself here this morning? No, there's not.
Okay.
Here we go, show my screen, here we go.
Jack is on, Stephen.
Oh, Jack's on, okay, fantastic. Okay, Jack, take it away. Are you ready, Jack? You want me to do the intro? I can do the intro if you want. Jack, if you're talking, we can't hear you. So I'll proceed with the intro.
I think you got it.
Hear me?
Yep, there we go. Okay.
We can hear you, Jack. Continue.
Yeah, Jack, are you set up? Are you gonna proceed? I can do the intro if you need to, while you're setting up or something.
He's having trouble with his microphone.
Yeah, I think, Steve, if you want to proceed and we'll get Jack caught up.
Yeah, we'll proceed, and that's it. So welcome everybody to the Yankee Model Investment Club for the March 8th edition of, and of course the years are on there, let me fix that, of 2025. Okay. So we are a Yankee Model Investment Club. We're a better investing model club. We're a fully functional investment club with real money and open to observation from the public, to the public. We were formed in 2008, and we currently have 5 members, or something like that. Randall, what state are you from? I guess you couldn't unmute quickly enough. Tennessee.
Yeah, he's from Tennessee.
Okay. Tennessee. Okay. So we've got Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maine, California, Texas, and Tennessee.
Yep.
And John is in Florida. So hopefully we'll be adding those 2 states. We started online in 2011, and we meet on the second Saturday of every month at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We're currently looking for new members. There's no investment experience required. New members are mentored by an existing member. There's no limitation where you live, except if your state's tax laws require the club to file a return, and there's a handful of states that do that, and so if you live in one of those states, you can't join the club. Sorry. All partners must be members of Better Investing. They're expected to actively participate in the club's activities and make stock presentations using the stock selection guide. Our operating principles, we follow the BI principles. We show respect to fellow club members. No one here is an investment professional, and we're all still learning. We perform an annual audit of finances, which we concluded last month, and we file tax returns promptly, which we did last month or this month, or very, very shortly. We just did that, and we follow our partnership agreement and bylaws, which we just amended. If you have any questions, interested in joining, contact Jack at fin@eco.umass.edu. Okay. So the meeting is completely structured. We follow a standard agenda. It's available in the handout section, maybe. Yeah. And all visitors are muted. However, you can type your question into the GoToMeeting control panel, and we have a moderator that will field your questions and interrupt if needed. Did a friend forward you this meeting invite? Please be sure to register at Better Investing so you don't miss any updates at the URL displayed on your screen. The disclaimer. Absolutely nothing in this meeting is expressed or implied as it relates to stocks. So please do your own due diligence. Okay. So with that, Jack, are you situated now?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. What's next on the, is it the educational segment that's next?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's pitching that today?
You, Steve.
Okay. So I'm not prepared for that. So we're going to skip it for today.
All right.
So I'll just do it next month.
Yep.
So I totally dropped the ball on that completely. So I was on vacation last week.
Yep.
So that kind of threw my whole month off.
This is Randall. I would volunteer to do it next month.
No, that's okay. Thank you. I'll go next month. I
Okay.
dropped the ball. I'll take it. Thank you, though. Appreciate it.
We can
Okay,
just
what's the next item, Jack, on the list?
Let me get the. I'm sorry. Let me get the meeting. I'm sorry, the agenda up on the screen. Let me.
Sounds good.
I just put it up until you catch up.
Yeah, Jessica is with her secretary's report.
Yeah.
This is next. Yes.
Somebody is sharing the screen with me.
Yeah, please make her presenter.
Oh, give me a
Okay.
sec.
Can I see it?
Yeah, we can say it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Last month we had 38 visitors. Jack called the meeting to order. In lieu of the educational segment, we had the audit. I presented minutes from the last month's meeting that were accepted. Shriram presented the treasurer's report, which was accepted. This was our snapshot from Vivio for February 8th. And this was our snapshot of the size diversification chart. We're making some headway in the
The
small growth companies. Yeah. Randall presented the Adobe as a stock to study, which we decided to add to the watch list. Using our available cash, we decided to buy more of NIMH. NMIH, sorry.
Yep.
And then, let's see, for our previous business, did anyone do this for, I guess, for
Yep.
this, removing Liz and Ira from Vivio?
They're not removed yet because they still need to pick up their K1.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as that I think I've sent them, but I haven't heard back from them. I need to just check.
And then was Ira removed from Fidelity?
Not yet.
Okay, I'll leave all that stuff.
In the forms, we still have a problem with that.
Yep. We will talk about it at the end. Yeah.
Okay. We voted on the new partnership agreement. Shriram's going to send out the new partnership agreement to everybody. John was going to present for the stock to study for this month. Randall was voted in as a member, and we worked on the audit. Some questions from the visitors and visitors from last month. Does anyone have questions or corrections?
No, that's a very well
Good.
presented secretary's report, Jessica. Thank you.
Thanks.
Now, if
All right.
somebody give me the control for the treasurer's report, if
Coming up. There you go.
of course I don't have it on my right screen. You can see my screen, right? So bear with me for 1 second. I have it on the other screen. There you go. Can you see the?
Yes, sir. It's off the side a little bit.
Yeah, I will center it. Okay, there you go. Yes, this is the snapshot as of today. Over the night, about $196 were added to our cash thanks to the dividend we got from Pfizer. Even though Pfizer is been not or one of the most productive profit making holding in our portfolio, but they do give a decent dividend that helps us. We have $1,400 for decisions to make today. Again, as you look at this, we have few of them, they've gone into red, but overall we are in a good position. Again, this is the investment, each individual holding. We have a good bit of them, 20 plus profits over their lifetime. We do also have this, like I said, Pfizer was one of the not so good ones. Even though these three are not quite up to the par, but I believe we certainly do have them as our actually do have the numbers. I'll show you when I share my PERT screen, which I'm doing right now. Yeah, if you look at that, Qualis is 1.23% up since we bought it. Then SLP is down about 9.25%. And then NMIH is also down about 5% since we bought them. But overall, as you can see, there is a market that's when I was updating, almost every one of the prices went down since last month. We'll come back to that in just a second. Let me go back to the previous screen I had. Yes. Continuing with the report, member status. Again, we have we have folks who are doing very well with their profits over the years. I think if you look at the member performance, that shows you, annualized return for each of us. Why everybody? I don't want to show all. Okay. These are the only active members we have. 6, including Randall, and soon to be 7. As you can see, everybody is doing in that 10% area, except me, of course. Then within the last month, we did purchase a few shares of NMIH. We did receive some dividends, including this that came $199 that came in last night. I don't think we need to look at any of those things. Let me.
Quick question: was the Pfizer dividend, was that a special payout or is that our just normal amount?
I believe that's our normal amount.
Okay.
They give. I can tell you. They give about 6% dividends. Yeah.
Okay. I've just forgotten if it's was something special we needed to know about, but sounds like it's just normal dividend.
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, I think probably this is assets and capital gains and losses again. we don't. Income statement. Let me show you that. Everybody is paid. Oh, for this period, we have these different, mostly dividends in here. One, I think that's all my report for this portion of it. Let me bring the per charts for a second. As you can see, this is the per chart from the Better Investing. We have several of our holdings in the buy zone, so when we discuss them, we can get an idea. This is the per chart that is generated by, I know this looks very small on your screen, but please look at the handouts if you want the details. But one good thing is we have less color than we were seeing in the past month, so the overall is getting better. This is the modified PERT. I take the data from the previous screen that's generated by Better Investing SSG process. I add some information. For example, I add when the first time we bought them, the number of holdings. I either capture from the BVO or from the ones that we don't have. I calculate how much profit or loss we have so far on this and captured the dividends in this column. What else? The estimated EPS change, but I updated everything as of the every quarter that we have. So you can see this EPS, sales, and pre-tax profits are captured here. One of the things I also track is quarterly how it is behaving. For example, ACM, 4 out of the 7 quarters, it was losing. In other words, 3 quarters it's making profitable, or the quarterly profit is increasing. If you look at Google, 7 of last 8 quarters, it's increasing. Some of the things, it can be a little bit puzzling. For example, if you look at SLP, it's been growing 4 of the last 5 quarters, but overall it has 9%. I think that also depends on how much we bought at what time we bought, right? On the other side, Tractor Supply has losing quarters out of 9 out of 12 last quarters, but overall we are making 28% profit on that. So again, this general numbers, that gives us some information on, where we are and where we need to be. The items that are highlighted in this pink or purple or whatever that color is, those indicate that these are deviating from our estimates that we predicted. For example, we are losing 7.4 on the EPS is down 7.4 compared to what we predicted. Likewise, sales, you can see, again, please take a look at your individual holding that you are watching. If there is anything that we need to be worried about based on this information, please follow up and take a look at this. And then I also highlighted these two are the ones in the red in the top. Those two columns are the most changes we observed because of the changing market values and changing price. Of course, the price, these are all as of closing as of yesterday. This relative value, again, we want to ideally to be between 80 to 120 plus or minus 20%. Most of our holdings are in that range. Some of them are a little higher and some of them are a little lower. So you can see. What else? Yeah, again, the projected P ratios, again, this is from SSC directly. We keep track of it. Estimated EPS growth, again, this is what I was comparing what we have in this. For example, we projected 11.5. Now it's a project now it's at 2.82. So again, this is not behaving as we predicted. Again, this compares to the trailing 12 months. So that's how these numbers in this column are calculated. I'm also adding Altman Z. Again, most of our holdings are in pretty good place, except for a couple of them below that 3-point threshold. One of them is, of course, Pfizer. The other one is ACM Research. And I think up-down ratio and total return, all these things are captured in this. I also compare our portfolio with using the dashboard on the manifest. As you can see, again, this is another way of tracking our portfolio. In this case, I believe these are all, these are sorted by par. As you can see, we have a couple of them in that sweet spot we would like it to be, that 15 to 18% or whatever that is projected for this month or for this particular snapshot. But we have several of them in double digits, and overall it's pretty, our average portfolio value is about 11% par, whereas the cash value is about 5. And then this is sorted for the I think I don't know what's it sorted on. Oh, I think it's sorted on the, I think I'm showing the same thing again. Yeah, this one is sorted on quality. As you can see, again, most of our holdings are in the 90 plus average and only a couple of them below 80. Then EPS stability, in this case, I'm sorry, financial strength predictability, I believe that's what, again, this reasonably in a very good position. I think I mentioned in the past that if you add these 3 columns, the quality, the EPS stability, and financial strength, you would ideally want to have them in somewhere around 250 or so, 250 or 225 range. Only a couple of them, they are out of that range, but we don't have them for too long. As a portfolio, our numbers are pretty good. Again, this is similar to what Jessica showed, but I'm focusing on the sectors. We have several sectors, but we also, as part of diversification, probably some of these sectors, I don't know, real estate or industrials, we may have to look at that. Utilities is one of the things that is missing. And this is similar to what she showed. And last thing is, again, this is the better investing PERT summary. Any questions or any comments, especially on this particular table? I do spend some time putting this together, so I would really appreciate any comments on usefulness. Anybody is taking this to add to your stock watching process, please let me know. Any modifications, anything you would like to see, I think I'll be happy to take a look and add or subtract from this.
The one request I'd make, if it was possible, is just if we could get at least this PERT, like maybe the day before, like, you know, Friday sometime, just so we can, it's a lot of information to digest, at least for my own experience.
Oh, sure,
Um,
I can try doing that because I wait till the prices are updated. Like for example, this morning it updates after midnight. That's when I do it, but I can do it as of, I don't know, Wednesday evening or something like that. If it's that okay with everybody.
Yeah, I would say it's okay. I mean, having the prices here, I would hope that there wasn't a big swing in prices from, you know, Wednesday to today.
Right.
And I know that you have a busy schedule, so I wouldn't expect you to be up at midnight, you know, getting the most recent price information. But it would be helpful, yeah, to get this a little bit earlier, just so we can come into the meeting, I guess, a little bit more educated.
Certainly, I will do that. Like I said, I won't wait till Friday, probably update on Wednesday or Thursday and send it to you.
Perfect, thank you.
Excellent. Yeah, anything else? Please let
Yeah,
me know.
Sriram, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
The column with a red top next to the 80/20 column, the price column.
Yes.
So you have that going out into the spreadsheet, automatically harvesting the stock prices. Wouldn't that take the close of the day that you're on?
That
Or
is
do you
correct.
have to actually run it?
I actually manually put this in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think there might be a way to pull that in an automated fashion that might make your life easier.
Yeah. Yeah. But again, some of the things, probably there is a way to do it. I did not spend time. Maybe I should spend time figuring that out rather than trying to do this. Understood.
Yeah, I'll send you the link on how to do it.
Yep. Please do. Appreciate that. That'll be wonderful.
Can you send that to all of us, Steve? I'm curious also.
Yes, I can.
Thank you.
Yeah. Please share with the club members. Excellent. No, these are all good input. I appreciate you taking a better look at this because, as I was telling Brent, it takes a couple of hours to put this together. So appreciate it. Back to you, Jack.
You might be muted if you're talking, Jack.
Sriram, do you want to just display the agenda? And then we'll go forward.
Yes, I will share my screen. The agenda. Of course, it's on the other screen all the time. Can you all see
Okay.
it?
Okay.
So we're up to John Hangen's presentation of IES Holdings.
Yes. Is John on and ready to go?
John is,
I'm gonna move him over to panelist right now.
Yep.
yeah, there he is.
Okay, John.
Good morning from sunny Florida.
Good morning.
Morning, John.
Okay, now how do I grab the screen?
We
Um,
should.
You're
well,
you're
we see
displaying it already.
right
I
now.
am, okay. Very good.
Wait a minute, maybe I spoke too soon.
No,
No.
it's showing that he's up as presenter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think-
No. Yeah. It
You
says
have
John.
You need to accept the presenter position, be on your screen.
There should be a pop-up, John, on your screen, and you just have to accept it to display.
Does that work?
Not yet. It should be a little box. I'm gonna do it again. Well, I thought I was. All right, you should see a little pop-up that says make John Hangen the presenter. Click OK. You should be able to see that.
Well, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry, I don't see it. Could you try it one more time?
Okay. Don't change your screen while I'm doing this, because what may be happening, you
sure,
may be hiding
sure.
it behind something else you
Sure.
have.
Sure.
Okay. Give me just a moment. All right, you should be seeing it now.
Okay, it says go to webinar, would like to capture the computer screen, open system preferences.
I don't know.
Well, I opened up my computer preferences.
All of that should be unnecessary, I would think.
Yeah.
I think the
Actually,
first time you do it, you have to give permission.
yeah. Do you
Well,
want me to display? Can you talk if I show my screen? I have it ready.
I wouldn't mind, but I've got a revised Excel sheet.
Okay. Yeah. Please try then.
Well, let's see. For some reason my screen. I have an Apple, by the way.
I do too.
So, John, could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
What I would do is I would minimize everything on your screen, all your
Okay.
apps, and minimize it so you just have your background. And then let Joe do it one last time. And you should see the pop, because the box is there. It's just behind something.
Okay. Well, I've minimized everything.
Give me a second. I'm
Okay.
going to drop you out, and then I'm going to.
Well, there's something that comes up on my. Okay.
All right, you should have a little
Okay.
box in your screen.
Where it says change presenter.
Yes, sir. That's it. You accept that.
Well, I tried to hit it and it says, it just beeps.
Hmm.
It says, go to webinar, would like to capture this computer screen. Grant access to this application in security and privacy located in system preferences. Open system preferences. And I've hit go to meeting.
What
My
that's saying
golly,
is you've got it blocked somehow.
yeah. Well, I feel, oh, wait a minute, no, it's not, make presenter.
It might be quicker just to send your revised one to Sriram and let him put it up.
Okay, let me try and do that then. Let's see.
You and I'll try to figure that out later.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
next time probably we need to have a check before we start this.
yeah.
Yeah, please send it to me unless it's too much changed. You know, we can just go with what we have, John, and then,
Well, I think I've changed it enough
okay,
that
yeah, please send
I
it to
should
me.
send it there.
Yeah, please send it to me.
I think if you take care of some other business while I send this, it might be
There we go. It's up.
time. It's
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
That's up.
Sriram has it on screen.
No, I'm
You,
showing the old one. Did you send the new one?
no,
Okay,
I'm still maneuvering here.
okay. I have the old version that Steven shared with us from 3.2. Yeah.
I can start going through my stocks that I'm tracking if we want to do that in the meantime.
Yeah.
Go to that. We'll come back when we get the
Thanks.
technical stuff.
Okay. Well, the two stocks that I track are Tractor Supply and ACM Research. So Tractor Supply, they continue growing their offered product lines by holding their annual buying days where they reach out to, I think, local and national business owners to present products for consideration. So hopefully we'll see the benefits of that with increased product offerings in the near future. They celebrated 10 years of partnership with Future Farmers of America. They have a competitive grant program for middle and high school students and chapters. Nicely, they increased their dividend by 4.5%, so that was welcome news. Also, the board authorized a $1 billion increase to their share repurchase program that brings the total of the program to $7.5 billion. Their chairman said it was increasing the dividend and authorizing additional share repurchases are supported by our strong balance sheet and cash flow generation that provide us with flexibility to return cash to shareholders while investing in our future. One side benefit of the high egg prices that people have been experiencing at the grocery store is that Tractor Supply might benefit as people try their own hands at raising chickens. So the hope is that maybe that interest gets people into the stores and they sell chicken raising, supplies as well as other ancillary items. And then finally, Weber Grills. I think I announced this a couple of months ago. They were started being offered in a few select stores. They've now rolled out to all of the stores. So that's another product line that's available. The share price is up about $4 from last month. I still have it well within the hold, if not the start thinking about selling some of it range at $56.89 a piece, or per share, I should say. ACM Research, they posted fourth quarter results. Earnings per share was 56 cents compared to analysts' estimate of 26, and then compared to the earnings per share a year ago of 43 cents. So they blew their analysts' estimates out of the water. Total shipments for 2024 were up 63% compared to a year ago. Revenue was up 782 million, which is 40% increase. So they just really exceeded all of the expectations in their fourth quarter results. And as a result, I think the stock price skyrocketed. It's up $5 since our last meeting. They also announced their single wafer high temperature sulfuric peroxide mixture tool has been qualified by a key logic device manufacturer in mainland China. To date, ACM has delivered those tools to 13 customers. So things are looking pretty good at the moment. For that, I have them, it's just below the buy limit, so it's slightly in the buy range. That's it for me.
Okay, thanks, Brent. Sriram, do you have the latest spreadsheet yet?
No, I'm still working on it.
Okay, so then I'll go ahead and I'll go and do my stocks. So Alphabet, I currently have as in the buy range. I have a buy on Alphabet up to $205. There was a Mag 7 mauling in the last 2 weeks, so they're down to 175. So they're in my buy zone. And they're flexing their AI muscle so much so that they're actually getting sued by an educational company called Chegg because of the Google AI overview. So when you Google now, when you do a web-based search, the majority of the time you're getting an AI overview, and it's giving so much information so quickly and so exactly that that's the niche that Chegg used to fill. Well, they're going to turn into little dust particles because Alphabet is eating their lunch, their AI lunch. There was a note on quantum computing. Amazon threw their hat in the ring as well, and so did Microsoft. So not only do you have the pure play quantum players like Rigetti, Ion, and so forth, but you also have the giant integrated Microsoft, Amazon. Everybody wants to get a real quantum computer running, even though Rigetti actually sells one, shockingly. I don't know how valuable they are. Looking at Visa, I have Visa in the hold range. I have Visa as a buy up to $268. And Visa is crushing it with, they're at 344.55. They're near their 52-week high. There wasn't a ton of news. I think they're having a moment here because it's perceived as less risky and yet still provides some growth. And plus Kramer was pumping it. So Visa, people are spending. I think we're approaching that, God forbid, that stagflation where people are still spending. So, and they're spending, of course, on their card. DHI, I have in the hold zone. There were articles out touting housing. Why? Because higher interest rates, affordability challenges, meaning that houses are at sky-high prices, and tariffs, a good portion now of this news is reflected in the stocks. So it is unfortunate. It doesn't look like they're going to lower the interest rates next month. It looks like they're going to hold. It only looks like we're going to get 2 cuts this entire year. But I still think that DHI is going to do well. They sold a little bit less. They're down a smidge on sales, but and a smidge is 1 or 2%, I think. I don't remember exactly, but I think they're going to be okay. So that's those are my 3.
I sent out the Excel to everyone, actually. And if Shahram has it, maybe he can bring it up. I've also sent a PowerPoint with a couple of things from the internet, from the website I'd like to talk about. Shahram, did you get it?
I'm looking for it. Give me 1 second. Nothing on screen yet.
Did anyone else get it?
I'm not seeing it in my inbox.
Well,
Did
Did-
you send it to the Yankee group
well, I
message?
sent it to, John had sent, Jack had sent a email on the
Yeah, sometimes
agenda,
yeah,
and then I sent it to everyone.
sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't believe all this bad luck here.
Yeah.
Just please send it to me, just to me, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, let's see here. I'm gonna open up Compose. Can I have your email address?
Yes, it's first 3 letters of my first name, which is SRI.
Yeah.
And then my last name MAD.
MAD?
ABH.
Wait a minute, MAD?
That is
Oh,
correct.
here it is.
Yep.
You should see it on your screen under
Yes, I got it now.
attendees.
I got it now.
Yeah, attach them both and send it to me.
Yeah. Okay, it's on its way. I apologize, I'm not the quickest gun in town on computers. Joe, do you want to try it one more time to see if I can connect?
I can try making you presenter again also.
Okay.
Okay.
It keeps bringing me back to approve it through the screen system audio recording, and I hit go to meeting and it doesn't do anything. So I guess I can't be the presenter.
Oh, gee.
Jessica, I think you're on a Mac also. Does this seem familiar? Like do you need to go into the Mac settings or something and allow GoToWebinar? Do you
Yes, I
remember?
had to do that. And then I believe I had to log out completely, like get out of webinar and log
That's what
back
I
in.
was thinking.
Oh, okay.
Want me to log out and get back in?
I'd be nervous to do that because I think while you're here, we might as well keep you. If we can get the email to work, that's probably the best
Sure.
solution.
Okay. Shahram, did you get it or not?
Nothing yet.
Can't believe it.
I have no idea what's happening.
Is the email in your sent items?
Let me
Did
check.
the email leave your outbox?
Yes. I'll forward again, maybe. Maybe I'll forward it to you, Steve.
Sure. You should have, you have my email address. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I just forwarded it to you.
Okay, let's see if I have it.
Thoroughly embarrassing.
Next time we need to do this ahead of time. That way,
Yeah.
these are being recorded.
Yeah, I was thinking we could edit out the problems, but I think there's more problems than good content today. So
Yeah,
this is kind of a wash.
yeah. But
But don't worry about it, John. I think
yeah,
we've been plagued with errors from the beginning of this meeting. So
this is
Well,
fine.
if all is lost, I will read what I have on the Excel. I'll talk about the company, and then you guys have looked it up anyway, and then you critique it. Does that sound reasonable?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Bear in mind, everyone has a copy of your original Excel spreadsheet.
Okay,
So they can
that'll be fine.
pull that up.
Okay, it just came in for me. So I'll go ahead and I'll display his spreadsheet.
Okay.
Make myself the presenter. Oh, I'm just I don't know if I can. I'm just a panelist. I'm not an organizer today.
Oh, good.
So somebody can thank you. Here we go.
We can see it now. Very good.
Yep.
You should be able to see it, John.
Okay. So here we have a company called, and actually I sent you the wrong one. I'm going to read mine. Here we have a company called IESC Holdings. It's a medium market cap company of $3.6 billion. Its sales are approximately $3 billion. It's been in business for 60 years. It's an industrial stock. It's fundamentally electrical and electrical data systems, but an all-inclusive electrical contractor. As I said, they've been in business for 60 years, but was accepted on the NASDAQ in 2006. They've had substantial growth over the past 7 or 8 years. And at this time, maybe if Steve, if you can pull up the first picture on the other attachment I gave you for notes.
Sure. Yep. Just give me a split second. Here we go.
Okay, so the second one down. So you'll see that this company, has 4 major segments: communications, residential, infrastructure, and commercial and industrial. You can see by the dots where they're physically located in offices throughout the country and or where they do business. They're from originally from Texas. If you go to the second slide, you can see that the residential side of the electrical is about 40% of their sales. The communications field, which is 27% of their sales, has been growing quite substantially because they're specializing in data centers. And I think data centers, we can all agree, it may be big investments by a lot of the AI companies. They have commercial and industrial of about 13% and infrastructure solutions for 12% of their business. Now, why are these folks an interesting company? They're an interesting company because they, in their field, they're vertically integrated. My term, I didn't see that in any of the reports, but if you can look at this company, they do, if on particular on the residential, now they do work with a lot of developers that might develop, 500 or 1,000 homes at a time. And it's easy for a developer to deal with a vertically integrated company like this, because not only do they do the electrical, they're now into HVAC, they're into plumbing. So the developer doesn't have to deal with 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 subs. He deals with a trusted contractor that he knows that will provide a good service and less headaches. So they have their own design build team, and they can design build anything in data centers, including communications, including solar, including the communications side of it. So as I was mentioning to Steve the other day, that after I finish this report, and I find that I'm falling in love with this company, and that's a bad sign. But it reminded me of another company after I finished my analysis of Comfort Systems. Comfort Systems has a prefix of FIX, and they've quadrupled in price over the last 4 years. And they specialize in vertical integration, but in big cities where they do heating, ventilating, and air conditioning, electrical, ductwork, and everything is built in shop with this Comfort Systems, and they modularize everything. But they have had fantastic growth. They've had fantastic earnings and rewards with their price. Now, getting back to IESC, they have about 1.5 million square feet of buildings that they either own or lease. They have 9,000 employees, and they're a growing company. If you can go to the next slide, you can see just on the data center build out what they're doing financially. So over the past 5 or 6 years, they've done very well. Next slide. You'll see retail and e-commerce revenue in the United States. So everything is going in the right direction. We'll look at the SSG in a minute. That also is going in the right direction. Next slide. This is the only, one of the only negative things I found about the company, and I got it off their website, and it's their cash flow. And you'll see that their cash flow is much lower this year in 24 than it was in 23. Now, why is that? Well, I couldn't find exactly why, but they've bought marketable securities. And I'm not certain what that is. I can probably take a guess, but I'm not certain what it is. And they recently bought a business in this January called Arrow Engines, which further helps them vertically integrated because they can now provide generators to all of their building sites, whether they're small or large. And this Arrow engine in Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, has sales of 20 million a year. I'm not certain what they paid for it. I looked, but I just couldn't find it. But we'll see at their debt level on the SSG, it's pretty low. I don't remember the number, maybe 5 or maybe 9%, somewhere around there. Next slide, and then we'll go back to the SSG. What really opened my eyes, if you look on the right-hand side from Value Line, you'll see total shareholder return. Now for 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, and 3 years, I started to fall in love with this company. If you look at the earnings per share, top left, in 21, it was $3.15. It went down during the pandemic. It went back up again in 23 and more than doubled in 24. So these numbers are quite interesting. And if you want to go to the SSG, we can go to the SSG.
Is it in this slide deck?
No, I sent it to you.
Okay. I don't know. Let's see. This is what I got.
Okay, I sent it to you the other day. I guess I can resend it to you
Oh,
right now.
okay. So it's an older send. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me. I'm going to hide my screen for a minute here.
While he's doing that, I'll talk a little bit about the Excel sheet.
Hang on for a minute. Sriram, can you take presenter for a second, please, or shut me off, or somebody with organizer rights? I can't shut my screen off. Thank you.
Were you saying something about the spreadsheet, John?
Yeah, if you don't mind me talking while he's looking.
Sure.
I'm looking at my spreadsheet, and the Altman Z is a very comfortable 7.6. I was going to talk about the debt, but I think I'll wait until the SSG. The Morningstar shows the estimated, well, the growth rate is listed as a B, the profitability is a B, and the financial position is a C. They say the fair value is 174. I looked at the Value Line, their fair value was 150. We'll see in the SSG, it shows that in the value, projected value, as I recall, it was 129%. So it shows to be overvalued in the SSG. The CFRA recommendation was a strong buy. The risk evaluation was moderate. I couldn't find the Ford equity research, and quite frankly, I had a hard time getting CFRA, and Value Line has very limited information. But Value Line does estimate 23% sales growth, earnings per share growth at 59.5%, and Steve suggested I write in 30 in parentheses, which I did. The price movement in 2024, the low was $59.80. The high was $207.10. Today's price is $168.
Hey, John, it looks
high,
like Stephen is able to show the SSG.
Okay, good. Okay, well, yours is different than mine because I have the,
Yeah, well, I imported it into Toolkit 6.
okay,
So this is what it looks like in Toolkit 6. So it's going to be slightly different than how you're used to seeing it. But
yeah.
yeah, this is what it looks
Well,
like.
I guess it is different, but the first observations, I like, bring it back down again.
Sure.
Okay. So first observation, visually, I like the slope of the sales line. I certainly like the slope of the profit after tax line and the earnings. And it does show that there was a hiccup in 22. The historical sales growth is 24.7. I used 14. The earnings per share, which is quite high, was 43.7. I used 14. Now, if you can go back up again, Steve. The total debt is 41.1 million. The insiders, which is good, own 12% of the company, and institutions own 30%, which is good value. Now, you want to go to page 2, and you can see the high earnings per share there. So the pre-tax profits averaged over 5 years for 5.2, but last year they had a good year, and the pre-tax profit on sales was 9.2, even though they're paying a lot of money each year for new businesses out of cash flow, and they're buying back their stock. The return on investment is extremely high. The 5-year average is 25%. I think on my SSG it showed 20, but last year it was 48%. Fantastic numbers. The debt to equity, the average for the last 5 years is almost 16%, but in 24 it's 7%. So management, I think, is doing a great job. Now, I guess we can go lower to, it's, I don't see it on here, but it's in the buy range.
Yeah.
There it is. Okay, it's in the buy range. And if you want to, I estimated high PE was I thought was reasonable at 18.6, and I used a low PE of 7.3, and that gave us a buy at 143 and a sell of 203. Now, if you go down below, if my figures are correct, with a high PE forecast, it might return 18%. With a low PE forecast, it might return 13. I think my numbers were a little bit different than that, but that's a good range. So I'm not sure what comes next. If you want to open it up for questions, that's great.
Yeah. Let's see. I ended up with a buy of a little bit lower than yours, 181, but certainly in the same range. It is. It has a very pretty front page, that's for sure. And I like, and the trends in the evaluate management section are outstanding. it's I end up with I think where's my buy? I'm sorry, a buy up to 181, 182, something like that, and 21% high total return, 13%. Again, similar numbers to yours.
Good.
So, Shayron, do you want to put in your 2 cents?
Yes, I think it's a very good company. Overall, it looks pretty good. Again, I have similar numbers like yours, Jack. Mine is buy up to 180 something, 83. Overall, I think it's a good potential. Only concern I have is, did they already max out on their values in the last couple of years? Is there that kind of growth left in this company?
That's a very good question. And one of the other negatives that I neglected to point out is if the economy is such that interest rates get higher and developers don't continue developing and people don't continue to build big buildings and industrial centers and data centers, then it's not going to continue.
Yeah, yeah. Again, one of the things, again, this data centers is also one of the major requirements or options for the AI. They certainly need a large scale data centers. So from that perspective, it is there. Another positive thing is, again, if you look at their pre-tax profit, I don't know if you can pull out the quarterly data from the pre-tax profit. Quarterly trend analysis. See if you have a, if you look at the pre-tax profit in the last 4 or 5 quarters, it is decreased continuously. So it is a good time to buy. It's going to go up from there. So yeah, I mean, it is a pretty good company. I did not see anything obviously negative for us to worry about. Back to you, Jack.
Okay. Steve, do you have any comments on this, on our stock, since you're showing screen? You can show your.
Yeah, I do actually. I'm gonna do the blank out here, and it's for just a split second. I think I figured it out here. Am I displaying, or I guess I still am? How about now? Can you see
Nope.
my screen now? Or?
No, it's blank.
Okay, good.
We're
It's
ready to
displaying?
go.
No,
There's
we
nothing.
can't see anything.
Okay, good. All right, let me just. I want to bring up my Fidelity thingy, and I didn't sanitize it before. Let me just fix this here so you can see. I'm just going to put this in, and I'm going to explain why I like this. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Give me a split second. I'll display my screen again. And yeah, here we go. This is what we want to show. Yeah. I think, so I'm going to show screen again. Can you see my screen now? You should be able to see Fidelity.
There it is.
Okay, good. All right. So this is the vaunted earnings analysis, so to speak. And what I really like about this is, so they had their toe stub here. They had a big toe stub over here. But now they're going up. And they're all green here. And look where we would be buying it. Nice and low. So I think this is priced valuation-wise very well. It reminds me of the Netflix buy. The problem is that I can't torture the SSG like I did with Netflix and still have it be impervious. But looking at the price chart, the valuation, it does look exceptional at this point. Obviously, we're coming into rough waters in the next month. If this tariff back and forth flip-flop nonsense doesn't stop, and it doesn't appear that it's going to stop, that's going to roil the market as it just did the last 2 weeks. So this is going to be volatile. It's going to drop, but its earnings are going up. So I think we'll be rewarded in the long run, valuation-wise. It does seem to be diversified, and I was absolutely flabbergasted that when I went to the company website that they actually bought an electrical company in Naugatuck, Connecticut, of all places. So they're reaching out. They're all over the place, and they're making purchases that make sense to them, that they can integrate into their business, and so they're growing. I mean, they're going to grow. They've got the model now, and they're growing. So it's I was surprised at how much actually I do like it. I think one thing that John needs to say is how he found the stock.
Yes, I'd
And
be happy to.
yeah, well, I'm gonna steal your thunder here.
Sure, go for it.
So what he was telling me was that IES actually came up on a Better Investing podcast or
Yes.
some kind of cast. So it's already been pre-vetted by the elders, in air quotes. So that I liked. And then when you kind of look at its valuation here, nice green arrows, but you're at the almost at the very bottom of the range. I liked as well. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I was just torturing it here with the SSG. Can I get it into my buy range? Not really, but I think it's okay. I'm good with it. So with that, I'll turn it over to Brent.
And if you don't mind, I will tell everyone in my words how I got there. I watched the Better Investing podcast on February 25th, and the podcast dealt with other subjects. And when it was completed, 2 presenters from Better Investing had 5 stocks that they were recommending that folks should look into further. And they did not do SSGs. They just expanded on why they thought they were good companies. And of those 5 stocks that they recommended, I did an analysis on all of them, and IESC became the winner of that 5. I had a number of other stocks that I had looked at that was still on my radar, and Jack Finn sent me a couple that was on his radar, and this one just shined more than the others. So that's when I started to do some homework on it, and the more I look at it, I have to keep hitting myself on the hand because I like the company that much, and I shouldn't say that.
Was that Ticker Talk, or do you remember the name of the presentation that
That
presented?
sounded like the format for Ticker Talk.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure. Ticker Talk. I don't watch too many of them, but I did watch that one.
But it was a video on Better Investing website.
Yes, and it was on February 25th.
Okay.
I think the original theme of the presentation was how to give a presentation for your SSG to a club in 5 minutes. And it takes me 5 minutes to tell you how I got there.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Francis Elizabeth.
Yeah, so I had, just a few comments. It looks like
Yeah.
a good company. I agree. I'll just note that it is a medium-sized company.
Yes,
We're striving to do small companies, but we also need to expand medium, I think, from, if I remember the size
That's right.
diversification chart. I, John, do you actually have your SSG open on your computer?
I can open it.
Okay, I just had a question. I don't know if it was from the importing that Steve did to his toolkit on just what you chose as the low price
Yeah.
for the projected, for I guess forecasted low price. Because
Let's see here.
I'm tracking with a lot of the numbers you used, like the high PE of 18.6, I think the
Yep.
low PE of 7.3. But if you calculate with the low PE, it gets a forecasted low price of 78.4. And I think what I saw on Steve's screen at least was like selected forecast price was like 140 something. And if that's on your SSG, I was just curious how you got to that number.
Well, you'll have to hold on a second.
That's fine.
Brent, I think it's 80% of the current price. That's how that number is derived.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it in any of the like A through D options there, but that makes sense. Okay. But other comments, I was actually maybe a little bit more optimistic or aggressive on the front page with my sales growth estimate. Historical was like around 20% for me. I knocked it down to 18%, but then preferred procedure for the earnings per share growth came out at around 17%. And I just took those as is because I don't think I saw an analyst estimate come through. So with the, I think the same thing where I knocked out the very high PE ratio from 2022 and used the averages from there. My buy is up to $167. So I think we're just under that as of yesterday's close. So looks promising. It's it's a little bit larger company than we were striving for, but I think medium isn't the end of the world. Medium-sized company. Oh, the other thing I wanted to ask was we do have D.R. Horton, which is a home builder. Would this be in competition with them, or do we think like a D.R. Horton would use a company like IES Holdings?
D.R. Horton does use IES.
They do. Okay.
Yes, I asked my son about 10 minutes ago.
Oh, okay. Well, real-time investigation. Thank you.
Not the only one they use, but they do use them.
Okay.
And I can even do one other thing. IES bought, when it had its prior name, bought out the company of a sister-in-law's father in Texas when he decided to retire several years ago. They bought out his business, and he had about $100 million a year in sales, but he was working mostly in apartment complexes and single-family houses. So I know just a little bit about the company, but had never looked at it before as a possible place to invest.
Okay.
Jessica, we haven't heard from you yet. Do you have thoughts on this?
Nothing really to add. I kind of have similar numbers to everybody else. My buy was like up to 168. But I too thought it was a good company. I really liked it.
And Randall, are you still on the call? Do you have thoughts? Is he there?
He's muted. He's still connected, but muted, it looks like.
Randall, unmute yourself if you're talking.
Yes, it's self-muted, Randall. Oh, sweet. We heard him earlier.
One other thing while we're waiting for Randall, maybe that I'll throw out is I think we
Yeah.
mentioned the high interest rates, may put a damper on their business, but haven't the high interest rates been around for a while and they're still performing well? Do we just think that the steam will run out and high interest rates will just degrade their business model, or are they somewhat impervious to high interest rates?
In the last, was it three years they've been going gangbusters, 2 years, I guess.
Right.
And the other interesting thing is their debt to capital in 22 was 27%, in 23 it was 12, and this year it's 9.3.
Yeah, they've been generating cash like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like Randall is having some audio problems. He's trying to
Yeah.
sort it.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh man.
Thoughts on IESC, Randall?
I'm sorry. What was that? What was your question again?
Do you have thoughts on the stock to study here, IESC? Did you want to add?
I'm kind of a novice, so I kind of agree with kind of the general consensus that's been said. But
Okay. Just didn't want to exclude you.
no, I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, good. So we should go on then.
Let me Jack, can I interrupt in here? My questions box has not been working. I see several people have sent some messages and I haven't responded to any of them because they just popped up on my computer just in the last 45 seconds or so. There are two questions from Mo Hart, one from Bill Hawkins, one from Leslie Madison, and three from Brian Koenig. I would ask y'all to stay on the line and ask those questions direct when we get to the end of the meeting, when we turn the attendee microphones on. And I apologize, I don't know what happened. I did not see them until just a few moments ago, and I don't know that I can respond properly to them. Thank you.
Boy, it's just been a bad day for technical problems. So we should go on. I think we got to, Steve, did you finish your stock?
Yes. Yep. I think you're up next, Jack.
I can do and Netflix and has presented and their EPS was up by 65% in the last quarter over year over year, and revenues are up 15%. So they're just exploding. And MIH also did well. They had a 15% earnings growth in the last quarter, year over year, and sales were up 12%. Monster missed their earnings by 2 cents, so they had a bit of a tumble because of that. But they've missed their earnings by 1 or 2 cents the last 2 or 3 quarters. So, and otherwise, these stocks are doing well. Netflix and MIH have been bouncing around like everybody else. And I couldn't find any interesting news about any of them this morning.
Hey Jack, what is the buy limit price for Netflix?
It's well below where it is. It's still yeah, it hasn't bounced anywhere near our buy. Let me see if I can get the number. The buy is 636, and the present price is 891.
Yeah,
It was 1,000 a month or two ago.
yeah, it peaked around 1100 not too long
Yeah.
ago. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, please continue.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay.
This is next.
I will follow up on that. SEIC. They had all three of my holdings. They had their quarterly calls in the late January, early February, and on no surprises, all of them seems to met or beat their quarterly predictions. Nothing major to be concerned about. Again, the problem is the financial industry, SEIC and HLI, they are involved in. It's going to be volatile. It's going to be up and down for a while. And then Qualys made some progress, but still, it is again nothing obviously to be concerned about. They did outperform their previous 12-month. So overall, I think I don't have anything specific to recommend. I think please hold on all three of them. That's all. That's all I have on these three holdings.
Jessica?
Yeah, EXLS had their Q4 earnings call. They had 16% year-over-year growth. Their Q4 earnings were 481 million. They had 26% year-over-year EPS growth to 44 cents per share. They had announced over the past year partnerships with NVIDIA, Amazon, Microsoft, Google to help enhance AI development. And there was a hit after their earnings call, even though it was positive, there was some concerns about needing for investment into AI and digital solutions and the impact that might have on short-term profitability. And there is some concerns about client readiness for AI development, I guess. I don't know that all of their current clients are on the same page with how they're looking to adopt with AI. And it sounds like some of them are considering in-house solutions. Morningstar has them as a 2-star buy, or a 2-star, yeah, price, and Value Line upgraded their performance to a 1. Pfizer, not a lot of news. They have a new chief internal medicine officer who's very focused on weight loss medications. They're expected to announce their phase 3 results for danuglipron coming up soon. And then they have 2 more medications in the pipeline. They did announce that they were considering moving some of their manufacturing to the US if necessary due to potential tariffs on pharmaceuticals. I have them in the hold. And SLP, there wasn't a lot of information. I have them in the buy range up to $30.30. Morningstar has them as a 3-star, at a 3-star price. Value Line downgraded their performance to a 5. They're expected to have some good performance in like the second half of the year. Even though they're a buy, I kind of want to wait until after their next quarterly call to see how they do with the, I don't know, headwinds ahead, I guess, the tumultuous environment. That's all I have.
I have I had a buy in one in the watch list, and I'm just trying to find it. Just a second. Yeah, Axos is still a buy in the watch list. The others are all holds. Okay. So I think we're at the stage of the meeting where we discuss what we should buy and sell. Brent, do you have any suggestions?
Sriram, do you mind pulling up the Vivio, like whatever it's called? Yeah, that one.
There it is. Yeah.
Who's tracking NMI? Did we say that's still in the buy range?
And MI is in the buy. Yeah.
Yep.
In buy. Okay. Well, I liked IES. We could. I'm not making any proposals. I'm just thinking out loud here. We could invest in that, but it would be, like a fraction of a percent of
Yep.
the total holdings.
The cash we have is only 0.6%, so it'll
Right.
be 0.6%. Yeah.
But we're now, are we 7 people with
Yes.
Randall?
Randall is number 6, and with John will be 7.
Yeah.
Okay, so that we're not in danger of having too many stocks for each person to have.
Stocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brent, I'd like to make a comment here, which
Sure.
is with the volatility of the last week or so, I don't think an investment of 0.6 would be bad here, putting the big toe in the water, so to speak. I think buying IES with available funds, that would be sufficient. That would be my opinion.
And you'd rather do that than put more into NMI?
Yeah. I like IES. I think that you're going to get a spring, building is, you get that spring surge. They're going to have a good spring quarter. That would be my fearless forecast. I'd want to harvest that, but not at the sake of selling something else, unless somebody has a real conviction that one of our dogs has to go. But I think, especially with this market volatility, that just buying with available funds would be good.
I second that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
No objection.
I agree with that too. Yeah, doing any major moves, it's just hard to know right now. I mean, the market's all over the place.
Yep.
I'm okay
Any
with
more
this.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we can get about 8 full units of that.
Good.
I will put an order Monday morning for this.
Okay. All right. Let's go. Let me take over the show if I can get it.
Or I can share my screen. Yeah, go
got
ahead.
And excellent presentation, John, if we didn't say that. Very thorough. Thank you.
Yes, it was a very good presentation, John.
So one of the main things that we had to do is the tax return. Sriram and I did that together. And we had a significant problem with a fairly insignificant amount of money. The 1099 that we got from
Fidelity.
selling Google. It was GOOG that was the problem, I think, and that's because Fidelity dealt with the the various splits that have happened and spin-offs and whatever else they did slightly differently than video. So we had to go dig back into the records. I had to send what Fidelity had, but then we had to dig back in the records to see how things had what happened in the years of the splits. There was one in 2011. There was one in 2014. In 2015, something else happened.
Yeah, Ira was kind enough to actually identify some of the statements from the bank at that time, and he was able to provide that, and it was all sorted out, and we were able to finally file the taxes for this year.
Yep. So part of that, part of the records shift that was supposed to happen manually, essentially, IRS sent all of the back records, 1099s, and other official documents from 2008 on, more or less, to me and to and Vivio wanted some of them. So the people at Vivio were great, and they basically solved the problem and just needed the data to do it. So Ira and I supplied enough data for them to make the fix, and it was a few bucks difference, so it wasn't really a big financial thing. But so the bottom line is that the club 1065 tax return has been submitted, and the K1s for all of you that were in the club last year are available on Vivio. Has everybody gotten their K1s? I don't hear a lot of noise.
Yeah, no, I got mine. I think, of course, I was able to access it. But please, everybody, take a look at it and make sure. And
Where it is, so that you can see how to get it. See, but maybe I shouldn't do that because it'll show up. Yeah, I can't do that.
yeah,
Those things have often have too much information on them, so we won't do that.
no, we don't want to do that. Jessica, please take a look at that. It's pretty obvious. You need to go where it says taxes for 2024, and you should be able to easily access it. If you have any questions, call me or call Jack.
I sent out an email where I think I spelled out where and how to get. If there's something confusing, please give me a call or send me an email. Okay. So we'll vote on accepting John as a member, I guess, at the end of the meeting. Some of these other details will be, now that March 15th is coming right up, we'll be able to, I'll make sure that Liz and Ira have their K1s, and then we can take them off of video. Removing IRA from the Fidelity account has to be done essentially by putting in a new application form or whatever they call it, a new list of responsible people. That's not what they call it, but that's what they mean.
I have the form. I will send it, and we can take care of that. The only thing is I was waiting for, again, I think by the time I was waiting for John's presentation today, that way we can also include him in not only in the Fidelity, doesn't need to be in there, but in the partnership agreement. So I will send them all together in one mail packet to you, Jack, and from you to other people as needed. We can distribute them.
So is there any other business? Hearing none, let's open up for questions if there are any. So.
I had just a quick question for, I guess,
sure.
new business. Is Randall all hooked up into Bivio and he's getting, like, he's on the, I guess, the email list when we send to the Yankee Bivio email address? Yes. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I added him to the BBO. Only thing is the facility where he can direct deposit from his account, that is still pending. We had a lot of discussions with the Fidelity folks. After all the time we spent on the online, they said, we'll send you a paper copy. You can print it out again. This is completely different from what Jessica did less than a year ago. So it's what it is. Randall put together an email. I forwarded to everybody. What is the procedure for adding somebody's name to the automatic money transfer? But I'm telling you, by the time John comes on board, that'll all change. So just
okay.
And then I guess the only other thing is, Randall, if you haven't already, we like to upload a copy of the SSG that you present to a Bivio folder. We can tell you the exact folder location, but it keeps a record of what we've presented just for posterity.
We're behind on that. I need to bother people about putting their presentation up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Just let me know.
Okay.
And those instructions that Sriram mentioned, I just emailed them to him. It's a Word document, and I took screenshots and all kinds of stuff. So, Sriram, if they want to, you can upload it somewhere where everybody else can see it.
Okay.
That's what the Bivio K1 screen should look like.
Yep.
Find your particular one. All I did was go accounting, taxes, and you get that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Click on the latest one and you should have it.
I have unmuted all of the attendees.
Good. Do we have any questions?
Anybody that wishes to speak, be nice to each other. Brian, go ahead.
Okay, I'll try and be nice. It's Saturday. Sriram, I agree with your assessment of the last few quarters there, the pre-tax profit. However, I should point out that on the SSG graph, that the distance between the pre-tax profit and the sales line is getting a little bit smaller, even though the pre-tax profit's going down. So that indicates that the expenses are being reduced. But that's a great analysis by everybody. And while it is a medium-sized company, it just made it in there. It's only 2.9 billion, so it's on the short side of that. So that's a small, medium-sized company. Which I think after looking at this, I'm going to do a little more research after what you guys have done, and maybe make a presentation, since our industrials are in my investment club are a little bit shy. Another couple of things I look at is the current price of $169 is about 69% below the 52-week high of 320. So that indicates it's along. However, when I look at big charts, it currently has lower highs and lower lows, indicating that it still may continue lower for just a little bit. However, if you look back a few months, there was a dip and then it went way back up and then came down. So I would have it on a watch list and keep watching it, with the current RSI of 42 indicating that it is an oversold position. And if the price continues down, that'll continue down. But overall, really good job. And the last part of it is, Joe, you passed the disclaimer test.
Thank you, sir. Let's see here. Dadu? Your microphone is on, or Leslie Madison, if you'd like to speak.
Yeah, this is Leslie. Thank you for having me. My question was, did John compare that IESC with fix? But since he was having so much trouble, I decided to do it myself. And
Okay.
I did what we call in our club a down and dirty. I ran both of those stocks, and they appear to be about the same. But if I was going to choose, I was going to choose IESC because of the price, because the fix is pretty expensive in terms of. So that's all I have to say.
Okay.
What is the ticker name for fix?
Fix, FIX.
Okay, thanks.
I would note that that was from Ticker Talk, and IESC was done by Ken Kavula, and it wasn't.
Okay.
Anybody else? Bill, you had a couple of comments. You had a question. This is your chance to speak if you need to. Hearing nothing else, I would ask attendees to drop off because they are going to have a vote here in a few minutes.
We're just going to do the closing slide. Don't forget.
Okay, go ahead.
And just a question, are we still, I think next month we're back to current members presenting, and then the next candidate is in May. Is that still on track?
I think, yes.
Okay.
Mo Hart is in May.
Perfect.
I put it up for Stephen to be the presenter who needs to do the closing screen.
I've got it.
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, sweet. Opening the wrong one.
Yep. There
we go. All right. So thank you for attending. Next meeting is April 12th at 11. I plan to be there. Please, if you haven't registered, register for the next meeting at this address. If you're interested in joining, please give Jessica, send her an email at this address, delandjm979@gmail.com. And any other comments? Okay. I think the attendees are dropping off, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Members, please don't drop off yet. Yeah, Randall there.
Yeah, we're all here.
Okay. Okay, just one left.
Chip, there ought to be about 15 minutes and then I'll get back with you, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Okay, they're all gone. So we need to talk about John Hangen as a member. I think he did a great job.
Yes.
Despite the difficulties, we need to work on that.
Yes. Yes. I think one of the things is we need to make sure that whoever is presenting, they need to check in a few minutes early and make sure that everything is working.
We'll make that.
Everybody should be aware, I turn the software on a half hour before the meeting starts, around 9:30 or a little earlier. So
Yeah.
it's available for all of y'all to talk before the meeting. I'm walking out now. I'll be gone.
Thank you. Joe, thank you. Yeah, Joe starts the call half an hour earlier, so we need to convey that to the new members. But yeah, I think overall, I was not worried. Like I said, after talking to Bob Hole,
Yeah.
I was very comfortable with them. Oh, somebody's on. 1 second. Cyprian is still there.
No, I thought he dropped off. It was zero a minute ago.
Yeah, but he joined back on. Okay. Now it's zero. Yeah. No, I think I was as long as he's okay with the terms and conditions for how much money he's going to put and when and what are his requirements for payback and all those things. We certainly want to make sure those are all clearly addressed and communicated.
Hey, Shreem, this is Randall. I wasn't privy to the last conversations about that, because that seemed to be the sticking point, which was how he wanted to be able to take his money out. And what did he say he was willing to do? Because I never heard that, and I thought that was kind of a major issue in terms of how he wanted things dispersed back to him.
I said that we're not going to change the bylaws or I can't remember whether the bylaws or the partnership agreement, but we weren't going to change the wording. It's going to stay the same, so that the choice of how to give the money is still going to be with the club, but we won't. I told them we will make an effort to give him what he wants, and I think for the case of sending stock to an estate, that makes plenty of sense to send them cash rather than stock. But I couldn't promise that we would do that, because there may be an event where we need to do. Well, I can't foresee the event. I'm not smart enough. But we said we were going to change, and he said that's okay.
Yeah, as long as he's okay with getting assets and not necessarily getting cash, as long as he knows that that's what we're doing, then I'm fine with it. But
yeah, he said it was all right.
I just want to make sure that he's absolutely fine with just getting assets.
Yeah.
Well, or that he tempers the amount that he deposits so that it's not a huge chunk of money, and he just participates in the club and puts some dollar amount. But it should be clear to him that we're not changing our paperwork, but we'll try to fulfill his wishes as much as we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Only other thing is, let's also come up with a plan of how much at what time he's going to put into this. Again, if you have a lot of money, we have, of course, right now it's a good time to buy some of these stocks we already have, and the ones we selected today. But
I think it'd be great for some of the large cap stocks that we have that are fallen. Like this is the first time since I've been a member that Google is a buy.
Yeah, it actually came into the buy zone, right?
He was right. That's gonna make us more money.
Yep.
So, any more
I have
comments?
a question.
Yes.
So my question is, I thought that the amount of money he can contribute is defined. It's actually in the bylaw.
Yes.
Okay,
It's,
so then it's not a question. It's already been predefined. There's a formula somewhere that defines how much money
40
can come in at what time, and there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, my only question is again, is it okay if we say, for example, I'm just throwing a number, 40,000 is the number, right? He can put in.
Yeah.
Is it okay for 40,000 to come all at once?
I think that'd be fine. We don't have to invest it all at once.
Yeah, we just hold it in
Yeah.
cash if needed.
We get a decent, what is it, 5% or 6% or something in on the money market.
Yeah.
Not awful.
5%, yeah. No, I think that's a very good point. I think I was not thinking about that. Yeah, then let him bring whatever. But only
Yeah.
other thing is, if he deposits, I don't know, by March 15th, some money, and the markets are still low, do you guys want to do anything? Purchase
I think,
something via
yeah,
email?
I think we shouldn't, just because it's.
I would
Yeah, I
wait
think-
until the next meeting.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Okay.
We'd love to invest it in let's pretend it's IESC, but if we wait a month, I don't think it's going to hurt anything, and it'll just bake in the money market. So
Sounds good.
So let's vote on whether we want to accept them. I'm hearing no downsides. And I hear
Yeah,
an aye.
I agree to having him on the team.
Yeah.
yeah, he was actually funny to work with. He's actually fairly humorous. So yeah, I like him. He's all right. The only thing I would say here is that and I wouldn't mind facilitating it, but somehow we need to get Jessica to do like a 5-minute like meeting during the week or whenever is convenient, maybe at night or on the weekend or something, to just get over this non-connection issue with the tool.
Yeah, that's
So
do we need, is there a practice web?
Just let me know when you need it. I just came back in. Just let me know when you need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think
Go.
the best thing to do is next month, a half an hour before, let him join at 9:30 or 10:30 on the East Coast, and then
Sriram, with no offense, but I think you're being optimistic. So
Yeah,
so I would get this ironed out well ahead of time.
yeah,
Okay.
these
Because
Apple.
it's gonna be an issue, and it's gonna be pressure for nothing. So why if we can avoid pressure, I would.
Understood. I have an Apple. I didn't have any problems at all. Jessica also has an Apple. One of us will reach out to him and we'll work with him.
Yeah, I think it's just a one-time thing of giving permissions, but you have to leave Go Webinar, and then I had to rejoin, which took like 2 seconds. So I'm assuming when he comes back on, he's probably going to be able to share his screen at that point.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So then hopefully it'll be a 60-second meeting with him, and it'll be done.
Good. Okay. So we have our 7th member. Yay.
Hey,
What does that just don't calculate it. Just right off the top of your head, Jack. What does that mean for how much a club member can have in the club? 100,000, 200,000? Does it, or about what we've got now, 90,000? Do you have any idea what it means?
The total amount is like 42% of the club net worth. So that
Okay.
ends at 100 and something thousand dollars.
Okay, so we've got headroom now.
yep.
All right.
Yeah, we still do. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we don't have to worry about it for a while. All right, I think we should adjourn this meeting. What do you think?
Yes, thank you very much. I will try my best to edit it as clean as possible. If I cannot, I may not post this online.
I apologize.
Good
Yeah.
luck with it.
Yeah, in all the years, this was the roughest. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember a meeting anywhere close to like this.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. All kinds
Yeah.
of
Jack, do you have problems with the headset or something?